Hello everyone, I'm back, and I do mean back. Back, but back by high demand. Today we have another pop in your mouth recipe. Today we'll be making some mozzarella cheese sticks. We will need the ingredients that you see here: some mozzarella, salt, I got some breadcrumbs, flour, I have 2 eggs, black pepper, and garlic powder. And then also I have 2 Ziploc bags where I'm going to be tossing everything in just to keep it, not as messy. To make the sauce, we're going to need some whole canned tomatoes, basil, oregano, salt, and garlic. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and let's get started. First, I'm going to start out by prepping everything to toss our mozzarella cheese sticks in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take some flour and just put enough flour in there, enough for the cheese sticks that you're going to be making. I think in this dish I'm only going to be making 8. So I'm going to put enough in there just to coat 8 mozzarella sticks. And then we're going to go in and we're going to season this flour. You want your food to have flavor in it. You don't want it to be bland. So make sure you're seasoning your food, guys. I'm going to do a little bit of ground black pepper, some garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. You don't want to get too crazy with the salt, but just put you enough in there to give it a nice taste. And then I'm going to shake this bag up. We're going to set that aside. And then we're going to take our breadcrumbs and we're going to season those as well. Yes, you want to season both so both can have flavor on your mozzarella sticks. Alright, so now I'm taking my second bag and I am putting my breadcrumbs. And I have the panko Japanese style. Feel free to use the Italian breadcrumbs. Those will work well. And I'm going to season these with some ground black pepper, some garlic powder, and just a little pinch of salt. I'm going to shake that around. Put that aside, and then when I come back, we're going to go ahead and start chopping up our sticks. Alright, so I have the block of mozzarella cheese, and if you like, they already have pre-made string cheese. Feel free to use that as well. That way you can skip this step. I wanted to show you guys how to do it with the block. Now, the block that I have is pretty small. Get the chunk cheese size. It's a little bit wider. It's more of a square than a rectangle. It works out better, but this is all that I can find at the time. So we're going to use this, and they're going to make them a little bit smaller, but they're still going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm deciding which way I want to cut it. I think I'm going to cut them in half and then slice them the long way and just make about maybe 10. This will make 10 small mozzarella cheese sticks. Okay, so I'm cutting these into about 3/4 of an inch. You want them to have a nice thickness to them. You don't want to cut them too thin, else they won't have that nice cheesy pull that you're looking for. I'm going to cut the rest of the block of cheese, and then when I come back, we'll go ahead and get these breaded up. Okay, so I have my cheese sticks cut, and I try to cut them all the same size. Now it's time to crack our eggs. This will be our wet batter. And I'm just going to put a splash of milk into it, just a splash. You don't want too much. And then we're going to beat these until they are well combined together. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my station a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and start flouring these up. I have a 3-step process, which is going to include your sprinkle crumbs, your egg, and your flour. And it's just going to be in 3 easy steps here, guys. It's not going to be complicated at all. You're first going to take your cheese sticks and you're going to dip them into something dry, which will be your flour. Into the flour we go, and we're going to roll it around, shake off the excess flour, and then it's going to go into the egg wash. Roll it around into the egg wash a couple of times, and then we're going to put it into our breadcrumbs. Now, we're going to do this more than once. We're going to take it out of our breadcrumbs, and we're going to put it back into the egg wash, and then back into our breadcrumbs. The reason that we do this, guys, is because the very first coat on it is not thick enough. It doesn't stick. And if we just throw it into our frying pan that way, it's not going to have a nice hard thickness around it. It's just going to be mostly cheese. So like you see I'm doing here, I'm taking it out of my breadcrumbs, throwing it back into the egg wash, and then we're going to put more breadcrumbs on it. And you'll see the difference of how much it has a better coating onto the cheese than if you just do one layer of it. We're going to set these aside, and I'm going to show you guys how to do another one, and then I'll do the others off camera. So again, into the flour, into the egg, then into your breadcrumbs, and then back into the egg, and then we're going to put it back into the breadcrumbs, and then we're going to set it aside. In case you missed it, or if I was going too fast, I'm going to do another with you on camera, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera. If this is your first time to the party, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time the fun begins. As you can see, the plastic bag wasn't working for me, but that's all right. I went ahead and grabbed a plate, and I'm going to finish these last couple of sticks. Now I finished the rest of my cheese sticks off camera. And now what we're going to do is, you don't want to go ahead and throw these into the frying pan, guys. You want to give this coating some time to harden on top of the cheese. It's way too soft right now, and if we just throw it into the pan, it's just going to all be in the oil. It's not even going to even coat. So I'm taking me a freezer bag, and I'm going to gently place these in here. You need a minimum of about 2 hours. Overnight is best, so that you can give this coating time to harden on the sticks. I'm going to place these in the bag, and then I'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and make our sauce. This is perfect with marinara sauce, and marinara sauce isn't that hard to do. It's just a little bit of oil. We're going to also mince in our garlic. Your garlic should only saute for about 30 seconds, no more than a minute, else you'll have to throw it out. And then we're going to go in, I have some whole tomatoes. We're going to go in with the juice and the tomatoes, and I'm only going to use about 3 whole tomatoes. And I'm also going to go in with just a little bit of onion. This is optional. And then I'm going to start to slowly break these up. Now, I don't mind my marinara sauce to be have a little chunkiness to it, but if you want it just completely smooth, puree your tomatoes beforehand in a blender and then add your sauce in there. And then the last for the taste is the seasonings. I'm going to do some oregano. I'm going to do some basil, and you feel free to use any fresh ingredients in this. And then the last, I'm going to just use some salt, but I'm not going to get too heavy with it because our mozzarellas have plenty of salt on them. And I'm just going to mix this and blend it really well. I'm going to take it up to a boil for about maybe 1 to 2 minutes. After it's been to a boil, we're going to turn it down and let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes to let it thicken up a little bit. Now it's time to go ahead, and we're going to put in our mozzarella sticks on a medium-high heat. And just like that, they don't take long, about 1 to 2 minutes. As soon as you start seeing that ooze of cheese, they are ready. Look at there, guys. The sauce is done. I'm going to just go ahead and dip it and dig in. They taste so good. They smell good. Hopefully you guys would try this recipe. Look at that cheese. It's just ooey gooey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video.